What's going on, guys? It's your boy Parag. Brand new video. Day 14 of the hard challenge. We're keeping it a streak. So far, it's been 2 weeks. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling pretty good. But I'm not gonna lie, like this morning, damn, I woke up and I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to work out today. But worked out. It is leg day today. Overall, feeling pretty good, but man, I'm not gonna lie, I am like, work is so, oh my god. Like, I'm grateful to have a job in this market, but my job is so stupid. I'm gonna make a rant video, but if they find it, I'm gonna get fired, and I need to pay bills, so I can't be saying anything yet. But hey, before we get into the reading section, let's get into a little breakfast. Boom! Literally the same thing. Two scoops of oats, some milk, chia seeds, 1 scoop of protein powder, and on the side we got a glass of creatine mixed in that bit. And that was the breakfast for the outdoor activity. Oh, your boys just we went on a walk today, 45 minutes, something light for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all sure expect this. I'm like that, I'm different. But let's get into the reading section. If you want to skip to the leg day workout, skip to right over here, skip over there. And every video, before we get into the reading the 10 pages, we always answer a question from the 44 laws of peace. So let me see. Yesterday was, oh my god, I can't turn the page right now, hold up. Nope, I read this one already. Okay, so yesterday it was, what upcoming changes are you most afraid of? I already handled that one. Do you trust yourself? Why or why not? I think I do trust myself because, like I've come to the realization that if I wanna make my goals and dreams come true, it's like I can't be just sitting around doing nothing, and like I feel like that's what I've been doing a lot of my life. I've been like saying stuff that, oh, like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then when time actually comes, I don't do anything. So but now, like, this series is proof to me, is proof to not only to y'all, but it's proof to myself that I can do it. And yeah, don't get me wrong, the video quality of this series is not the greatest, okay? Obviously, like 95% of the video is me just talking, and the rest is just me like squeezing in like a voiceover of me working out, eating, blah blah blah. But it's the fact that I'm uploading every day, keeping the same routine, sticking to it, eating clean, that is like proof to myself that I have to do this. And when it comes to like being successful, or just like a full-time streamer or content creator, like that's what I need to work towards. And like I trust myself to do it because I'm gonna be working every day for it, because that's what I gotta do. All right, anyways, not to get emotional, but hey, that is my answer. Comment down below, do you trust yourself? Why or why not? All right, on to the Zen Mind. I'm not gonna lie, guys, this book is almost done. Probably like 2-3 more days and this book is done. I'm thinking I go on Amazon and I buy a book about like emotional intelligence, because I'm telling you, it's gonna say something and I can relate, or I can de-relate and like trying to like escalate and then de-escalate. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's get into reading, shall we? Well, I look-y forgot where we was. Hold up. Oh, here. Okay. Before Buddha attained enlightenment, he made all possible effort for us, and he attained a thorough understanding of the various ways. You may think Buddha attained some stage where he was free from a karmic life, but it is not so. Many stories were told by Buddha about his experiences after he attained enlightenment. He was not at all different from us. When his country was at war with a powerful neighbor, he told his disciples of his own karma, of how he suffered from when he saw his country was going to be conquered by the neighboring king. If he had been someone who had attained enlightenment in which there was no karma, there would be no reason for him to suffer. And even after he attained enlightenment, he continued the same effort we are making. But his view of life was not shaky. His view of life was stable. And he watched everyone's life, including his own. He watched himself, and he watched others with the same eyes that he watched stones or plants or anything else. He had a very scientific understanding that was his way of life after he attained enlightenment. When we have the traditional spirit to follow the truth as it goes and practice our way without any egotistical idea, then we will attain enlightenment. It is a true sense. And we will understand this point, we will make our best effort in each moment. That is the true understanding of Buddhism. So our understanding of Buddhism is not just an intellectual understanding. Our understanding at the same time is its own expression. It's the practice itself. Not by reading or completation or philosophy, but only through practice, we can understand what Buddhism is. Constantly, we should practice Zazen with a strong confidence in our true nature, breaking the chain of karmic life and finding out our place in the world of actual practice. Next chapter. I don't know how to say this word. Transini. We should okay. I give up. The basic teaching of Buddhism is a teaching of transcendency or change. That everything changes is the basic truth of each existence. No one can deny this truth, and all the teaching of Buddhism is condensed within it. This is the true teaching for us all. Whether we go, this teaching is true. This teaching is also as the teaching of selflessness. Because each existence is in constant change. There is no abiding itself. In fact, the self-nature of each existence is nothing but change itself, the self-nature of all existence. There is no special, separate self-nature for the existence. This is also called teaching nirvana. When we realize the everlasting truth of everlasting changes and finding our composure in it, we find ourselves in nirvana. Without accepting the fact that everything changes, we cannot find perfect composure. But unfortunately, although it is true, it is difficult for us to accept because we cannot accept the truth of transiency we suffer. So the cause of suffering is our non-acceptance of this truth. The teaching of the cause of suffering and the teaching that everything changes are thus two sides of one coin. But subjectively, transcendence, bro, can they not? I don't know how to say this. Sorry guys, I'm stuttering a lot. But subjectively, transcendency is a cause of our suffering. Objectively, this teaching is simply the basic truth that everything changes. Dojin Zenjin said, teaching which does not sound as if it is forcing something on you is not true teaching. The teaching itself is true, and it in itself does not force anything upon us. But because of our human tendency, we receive the teaching as if something was being forced on us. But whether we feel good or bad about it, the truth exists. If nothing exists, the truth does not exist. Buddhism exists because of each particular existence. We should find some perfect existence through imperfection's existence. We should find perfection in imperfection. For us, complete perfection is not different from imperfection. The external exists because of non-external existence. In Buddhism, it is a heretical view to expect something outside this world. We do not seek for something besides ourselves. We should find truth in this world through our difficulties. Oh my God, through our suffering. This is the basic teaching of Buddhism. Pleasure is not different from difficulty. Good is not different from bad. Bad is good, good is bad. They are two sides of one coin. So enlightenment should be in practice. That is the right understanding of practice and the right understanding of our life. So to find pleasure in suffering is the only way to accept the truth of change. Without realizing how to accept this truth, you cannot live in this world. Even though you try to escape from it, your effort will be in vain. If you think there is some other way to accept the external truth that changes everything, that is your delusion. This is the basic teaching of how to live in this world. Whatever you may feel, you have to accept it. You have to make this kind of effort. So until we become strong enough to accept difficulty as pleasure, we have to continue this effort. Actually, if you become honest enough or straightforward enough, it is not so difficult to accept the truth. You can change your way of thinking a little bit. It is difficult, but this difficulty will not be always the same. Sometimes it will be difficult, and sometimes it will not be difficult. If you are suffering, you will have some pleasure in the teaching that everything changes when you are in trouble. It is quite easy to accept the teaching, so why not accept at other times? It is the same thing. Sometimes you may laugh at yourself discovering how selfish you are, but no matter how much you feel about this teaching, it is very important for you to change your way of thinking about and accept the truth of change. Yeah, I guess that is true. Like, talking about some change is like, you can't avoid change, and it's always gonna be there. And I like how they were talking about like the good and bad being one part of the coin, and like that's how we view life. Like I'm trying to like think of it like, so if there's a coin, one side is like change, other side is like, I don't know, but yeah, I think change is. I'm thinking about a whole other scenario in my head. I'm not gonna spill tea now, but I'll spill it some other time. Yep, I know the lingo. I know. All right, the quality of being. The purpose of Zazen is to attain the freedom of our being, physically and mentally. According to Dojin Zenji, every existence is a flashing into the vast phenomenal world. Each existence is an expression of the quality of being itself. I often see many stars early in the morning. The stars are not nothing but the light which has traveled like at great speed many miles from the heavenly bodies. But for me, the stars are not speedy beings, but calm, steady, and peaceful beings. We say in calmness there should be activity, in activity there should be calmness. I think they mentioned that in earlier pages here. Actually, they are the same thing. To say calmness or to say activity is just to express two different interpretations of one fact. There is harmony in our activity, and where there is harmony, there is calmness. This harmony is the quality of being, but the quality of being is also nothing but its speedy activity. When we sit, we feel calm and serene, but actually we do not know what kind of activity is going on inside our being. There is a complete harmony in the activity of our physical system. So we feel the calmness in it, even if we do not feel it, the quality is there. So for us, there is no reason to be bothered by calmness or activity, stillness or movement. When you do something, if you fix your mind on the activity with some confidence, the quality of your state of mind is the activity itself. When you are concentrated on the quality of your being, you are prepared for the activity. Movement is nothing but the quality of our being. When we do Zazen, the quality of our calm, steady, serene sitting is the quality of immense activity of being itself. Everything is just a flashing into the vast phenomenal world, means the freedom of our activity and of our being. If you sit in the right manner with the right understanding, you attain the freedom of your being. Even though you are just a temporal existence, within this moment, this temporal existence does not change, does not move, and is always independent from other existences. In the next moment, another existence arises. We may change to something else. Strictly speaking, there is no connection between I, myself, yesterday, and I, myself, this moment. There is no connection whatsoever. Dojin Zenjin said, charcoal does not become ashes. Ashes are ashes. They do not belong to charcoal. They have their own past and future. They are independent existence because they are a flashing into the vast phenomenal world. And charcoal and red hot fire are quite different existences. Black charcoal is also a flashing into the vast phenomenal world. Where there is black charcoal, there is not red hot charcoal. So black charcoal is independent of red hot charcoal. Ashes are independent of firewood. Each existence is independent. Today I'm sitting in Los Altos. Tomorrow morning I'll be in San Francisco. There is no connection between the I in Los Altos and the I in San Francisco. They are quite different things. Here we have the freedom of existence, and there is no quality connection you and me When I say you, there is no I. When I say I, there is no you. You are independent and I am independent. Okay? Each exists in a different moment, but this does not mean we are quite different beings. We're actually one of the same being. We are the same and yet different. It is very paradoxical, but actually it is so. Because we are independent beings, each one of us is a complete flashing into the vast phenomenal world. When I am sitting, there is no other person, but this does not mean I ignore you. I am completely one with every existence in the phenomenal world. So when I sit, you sit, everything sits with me. That is our Zazen. When you sit, everything sits with you, and everything makes up the quality of your being. I am a part of you. I go into the quality of your being. So this practice, we have absolute liberation from everything else. If you understand this secret, there is no difference between Zen practice and your everyday life. You can interpret everything as you wish. A wonderful painting is the result of the feeling in your fingers. If you have the feeling of the thickness of the ink in your brush, the painting is already there before you paint. When you dip your brush into the ink, you already know the result of your drawing, or else you cannot paint. So, before you do something, being is there. The result is there. Even though you look as if you were sitting quietly, all your activity, past and present, is included, and the result of your sitting is already there. You are not resting at all. All of the activity is included within you. That is your being. So all results of your practice are included in your sitting. This is a practice of Zazen. So this chapter, they're trying to say, like, well, from what I'm trying to interpret, like everyone is their own being. There is no I feel like, okay, I don't want to be like sometimes I don't understand these chapters, but I feel like they always come back to the point of just like being in the moment. Because like a lot of these are just be like living in the moment, thinking of the now, you know what I'm saying? But that's just me. Next chapter, next page. Hold on. Doji Zenzi became interested in Buddhism as a boy as he watched the smoke from an incense stick burning by his dead mother's body. Damn. And he felt the okay, guys. What the hell is that word? How do you even say that? What the hell? And he felt evanescence of our life. This feeling grew within him and finally resulted in his attainment of enlightenment and the development of his deep philosophy. When he saw the smoke from an incense stick and felt the emphasis of life, he felt very lonely. But that lonely feeling became stronger and stronger and flowered into enlightenment. When he was 88 years old, damn, oh no, 28, I can't read. When he was 28 years old, and at the moment of enlightenment, he exclaimed, "There is no body and no mind." When he said, "No body, no mind," all his being in that moment became a flashing into the vast phenomenal world. A flashing which included everything, which covered everything, and which had immense quality in him. All the phenomenal world was included within it, as absolute independent existence. That was his enlightenment. Starting from the lonely feeling of evanescence of life, he attained the powerful experience of quality of his being. He said, "I have dropped off mind and body because you think you have body or mind, you have lonely feelings. But when you realize that everything is just a flashing into the vast universe, you become very strong, and your existence becomes very meaningful. This is Dojin's enlightenment, and this is our practice." Okay. Naturalness. There is a big misunderstanding about the idea of naturalness. Most people who come to us believe in some freedom or naturalness. But their understanding is what we called Jin Kin Gedo, or heretical naturalness. Jin Kin Gedo means there is no need to be formal, just a kind of let alone policy or sloppiness. That is naturalness for most people, but that is not the naturalness we mean. It is rather difficult to explain, but naturalness is, I think, some feeling of being independent from everything else, or some activity which is based on nothingness. Something that which comes out of nothingness is naturalness. Something which comes out of I read that. Like a seed or a plant coming out from the ground. The seed has no idea of being some part of a particular plant, but it has its own form and is in perfect harmony with the ground. With its surrounding, as it grows, in the course of time expresses its nature. Nothing exists without forming color, whatever it is. It has some form of color, and that form of color are in perfect harmony with other beings, and there is no trouble. That is what we mean by naturalness. So they're saying naturalness, it comes from nothingness. Okay? For a plant or stone to be natural is no problem. But for us, there is some problem, indeed a big problem. To be natural is something which we must work on. When what you do just comes up from nothingness, you have quite a new feeling. For instance, when you are hungry to take some food in as naturalness, you feel natural. But when you're expecting too much, you have some food is not natural. You have no new feeling. You have no appreciation for it. The true practice of zazen is to sit as if drinking water when you are thirsty. There, you have naturalness. It is quite natural for you to take a nap when you were very sleepy. But to take a nap just because you are lazy, as if it was the privilege of human being to take a nap, is not naturalness. You think, my friend, all of them are napping. Why shouldn't I? Why is everyone else not working? Why should I work so hard? When you have a lot of money, why don't I? This is not naturalness. Your mind is entangled with some other idea, someone else's idea, and you are not independent, not yourself, and not natural. Even if you sit in the cross-legged position, if your zazen is not natural, it is not true practice. You do not have to force yourself to drink water when you are thirsty. You are glad to drink water. If you have true joy in your zazen, there is true joy in your zazen. But even though you have to force yourself to practice zazen, if you feel something good in your practice, that is zazen. Actually, it is not a matter of forcing yourself on something. Actually, it is not a matter of forcing something on you or not. Even though you have some difficulty, when you want to have it, that is naturalness. So the naturalness is like right now I'm looking kind of thirsty. I need some not even because I'm doing it for the video and for the chapter. Like my throat is kind of dry. Pause. That's too much water. Oh, excuse me. This naturalness is very difficult to explain. If you can just sit and experience the actuality of nothingness in your practice, there is no need to explain. If it comes out of nothingness, whatever you do is natural, and that is true practice. You have the true joy of practice, the true joy of life in it. Everyone comes out from nothingness, moment after moment. Moment after moment, we have true joy of life. So we say, Shinku Moyu. From true emptiness, the wondrous being appears. Shin is true, Ku is emptiness, Myo is wondrous, You is being. From true emptiness, wondrous being. Without nothingness, there is no naturalness. So true being, no true being. True being comes out of nothingness moment after moment. Nothingness is always there, and from it, everything appears. But usually, forgetting about nothingness, you behave as if you have something. What you do is based on some possessive idea or some concrete idea, and that is not natural. For instance, when you listen to a lecture, you should not have any idea of yourself. You should not have your own idea when you listen to someone. Forget what you have in your mind and just listen to what he says. To have nothing in your mind is naturalness. Then you will understand what he says, but if you have some idea to compare with what he says, you will not hear everything. Your understanding will be one-sided. That is not naturalness. When you do something, you should be completely involved in it. You should devote yourself to it completely. Then you have nothing. So if there is no true emptiness in your activity, it is not natural. Most people insist on some idea. Recently, the younger generation talks about love, 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 love. Their minds are full of love. And when they study Zen, if what I say does not accord with the idea of what they have of love, they will not accept it. They are quite stubborn, You may be amazed, of course not, but some have a very, very hard attitude. That is not naturalness at all. Even though they talk about love and freedom or naturalness, they do not understand these things, and they do not understand that Zen is in that way. If you want to study Zen, you should forget all of your previous ideas and just practice Zen. And see what kind of experience you have in your practice. This is naturalness. Whatever you do, this attitude is necessary. Sometimes we say nyo nan shin, soft or flexible mind. Nyon is soft feeling, nan is something which is not hard, shin is mind. Nyash nan shin means a smooth, natural mind. When you have that mind, you have the joy of life. When you lose it, you lose everything. You have nothing. Although you think you have something, you have nothing. But when all you do is come out of nothingness, then you have everything. Do you understand? This is what I mean by naturalness. Bro, I'm not clocking this. What do you mean? When you have that mind, you have the joy of life. Mind as in like they're saying like a smooth natural mind. When you lose it, you lose everything. You have nothing. Although you think you have something, you have nothing. But when all you do comes out of nothingness, then you have everything. Okay. All right, last page for today. How many pages is there left? Okay, I think it's like 3 more days. Yeah. Okay, last page of today. Emptiness. If you want to understand Buddhism, it is necessary for you to forget all about your preconceived ideas. To begin with, you must give up the idea of sustainability or existence. The usual view of life is firmly rooted in the idea of existence. For most people, everything exists. They think whatever they see and whatever they hear exist. Of course, the bird we see and hear exists. It exists, but what I mean by that may not be exactly what you mean. The Buddhist understanding of life includes both existence and non-existence. The bird both exists and does not exist at the same time. We see that a view of life based on experience alone is heretical. If you take things too seriously as they existed substantially or permanently, you are called a heretic. Most people may be heretics. We say true existence comes from emptiness and goes back to emptiness. What appears from emptiness is true existence. We have to go through the gate of emptiness. This idea of existence is very difficult to explain. Many people have begun to feel, at least intellectually, the emptiness of the modern world, or the self-contradiction of their culture. In the past, for instance, the Japanese people had a firm confidence in the permanent existence of their culture and their traditional way of life. But since they lost the war, they have become very skeptical. Some people think this skeptical attitude is awful, but actually it is better than the old attitude. As long as we have some definite idea about or some hope in a future, we cannot really be serious with the moment that exists now. So that was the last page, but I want to go back on that. As long as you have some definite idea about or some hope in the future, you cannot be serious with the moment as exists now. So that's the last hour of today, but I think they're going to go tomorrow, day 15. I think they're going to go more in depth about existence, because when I see here that they understand both existence and non-existence, I don't really know what that even means, because they're saying the bird both exists and does not exist at the same time. I have no idea, but hey, that was the reading section for today. Whew. 3 more days, we finish that book, and then we're going to start on a new book. But thank you guys for staying in too. I know that, the videos are kind of bland, but it's more of like a blog type of thing, and I'm just glad that I'm able to upload and work at the same time. But hey, I'll see you guys on the next video. Let's get on to the leg workout. Okay, for the leg day, doing some squats, something light for me. This is like 45 pounds. Honestly, I was feeling my glutes a lot. Glute bridges, gotta make sure that my glute is activated, because at work I sit down all day, so gotta make sure they're fired up. Then we got some tibialis raises, so hopefully next time I play basketball, my tibs aren't gonna be in pain, hopefully. Then we got some calf raises. Honestly, I feel like single was better because I get more contraction. It's not too bad. Oh, yo, my calves are actually kind of sculpted. Hold up. Jeez. Okay, hold up. And then last, finishing off with some over the hippies. Guys,
focus up on your hips, guys. Make sure you work them out at least like twice a week or something, please. But hey, that's the workout for today. Boom. This is how I'm looking. Day 14, not too shabby, feeling confident, looking good in the mirror. My belly isn't as, I don't feel as bloated anymore, so that's good as well. But let's go on to the lunch. Okay, for my first break, I had a little small stack. We had one strawberry yogurt with some walnuts, some almonds, just upping the fiber and making sure I wasn't going to starve, until my lunch. Boom, we have some lunch. We got some broken up naan. We got some chili. And that is, believe it or not, that is mushrooms. My mom roasted that bit and it tastes really good. So I had that. And then boom, onto the dinner. I'm not going to lie, now that I look at this portion, I should have definitely decreased the amount of rice I had. Because even while I was eating it, I'm like, damn, this shit is a lot. But we got some rice, some dal, more chili, few onions. And then obviously, there's nothing wrong with having more vegetables and fruits in your body. So there's that. And that was all the meals for today. Hey, thank you guys for watching the video. It is your boy Parag, and day 14, 2 weeks complete, 2 weeks under the belt. And guys, you already know the deal. Subscribe, follow, do all that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching the video. It's been your hopefully favorite YouTuber / streamer / content creator / boyfriend. Whoa. I see you guys on day 15. Ugh.